Always, that's what I know.
Well, you know, we've been banging away at this for a long time. The American people want this. I think the last night and today we really saw some positive steps forward.
Ed, I think you're absolutely right. And I think we need to remember this. Some people say, gee, this is sort of being popped up in a short period of time. During the last year, 2008, John McCain, Hillary Clinton, and President Obama all talked about health reform being a major objective of their administration should they be elected. So every one of the major candidates said this is where we ought to go. It wasn't that they agreed on every facet of every bill, but they said we must have health care reform.
Steny, are you going to get?
That's what we're doing.
Are you going to get any Republicans in the House on board with this?
I'm not sure that we are. I met with Republicans today, some of the moderate Republicans, who, in my opinion, want to see health reform. They want to see some changes made in the bill. As you said, we in the House are going to have a markup of the Energy and Commerce Committee, probably going to take 4 or 5 days. I'm sure a lot of amendments are going to be offered by Republicans and Democrats to perfect this bill. So the answer is they're going to be at the table. They're going to have an opportunity to make their case, and hopefully they're going to join with us in doing what John McCain said was necessary, Hillary Clinton said was necessary, and President Obama said was necessary. And he pledged he would do that for the American people.
Steny Hoyer, Majority Leader, with us here tonight on the Ed Show. Now, Congressman, do you feel empowered that recent polls are out there showing that 58% of the American people are willing to see the wealthy in this country pay more? Is that direction? Is that the direction you're going? And are you comfortable with it?
I am comfortable with the proposal that's made our Ways and Means Committee. Yes, and I'm pleased that the overwhelming majority of the American public want to see health care reform. They know it's not for free, although we're going to make over $500 million in savings from the present system. So this is not simply additional revenues, it's also savings, looking at waste, fraud, and abuse, looking at how we can act more efficiently in our health care, but primarily wanting to bring costs down, but wanting to include all Americans in access to affordable, quality health care. So that's what Americans voted for in the last election. So
as far as the president is concerned, in the House, President Obama is going to get what he has asked for all along. There's going to be a public option, and if there's no Republicans on board, that's just tough cookies.
I believe that's the case, yes.
All right.
We want to have Republicans on board, but if they won't join us, the American people want this, and we want to pass it.
Okay, and finally, can you guarantee a public option?
I can say there's going to be a public option in the House bill. We'll have to see what happens in conference, see what happens in the Senate. But the president is for a public option. We're for a public option, and we're going to pass a public option.
Well, I know you've worked hard on this, but one final thing I want to point out, and I got some calls on this today. There's a lot of small businesses that are very nervous about what this is going to do to them. If you can speak to the issue of the fee that they're going to have to pay, and are they going to have to do mandatory coverage?
Well, we are going to have mandatory coverage, but small businesses have a problem. We're very sensitive to that. It started out in the draft bill of exempting businesses who had payrolls under 100. That was very low. It's now at 250 and graduated up to 400,000, and they would pay less at 250 than they would at 400. But there's a sensitivity to small businesses.
All right, so that's going to be massaged as it goes through the House.
It will be. We're sensitive to the challenge that small businesses are confronted with.
All right, Majority Leader Steny Hoyer, great to have you with us tonight, my friend.
Thank you, Ed. As always, good to be with you.
You bet. I want to know what you think, folks. Get your phones out. I mean, here we go. Is it fair to tax? Is it fair to tax the top 1.2% of the richest Americans to pay for health care? Text A for yes, B for no to 622-639. We'll bring you the results later in the program. Up next, you heard it here, Psycho Talk. Karl Rove thinks it's dangerous to give Congress information. Rove is concerned about leaking. Well, now, there's a guy who has been an authority on leaks. Maybe we should listen to him. Well, Congressman Adam Smith is pretty fired up about it. He'll respond to all of that next on The Ed Show. Stay with us.
Don't you think? A little too. Look at this man,
so blessed with inspiration.
I don't know much,
but I know I love you.
that may be all I need to know.
Customers love GE aircraft engines almost as much as we love making them. Innovation today for America's tomorrow.